Okay, send out the countdown clock. And here we go.
60 seconds.
59.
58.
57.
56.
55.
54.
53.
52. 51.
50.
49.
48.
47.
46.
45.
44. 43.
42.
41.
40. 39.
38.
37.
36. 35.
34.
33.
32.
31. 30 seconds.
29.
28.
27.
26.
25. 24. 23.
22. 21.
20.
19.
18.
17.
16. 15.
14.
13. 12.
11.
10.
9.
8. 7. 6.
5.
4.
3.
2. 1.
Hello all, we are back. Check it out. Love that intro. Always big thank you to Salty for making that. It's so cool. And let me say hello to my co-host for this evening. We have got Amanda Maneffrin. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, my lady. How are you?
Oh, doing all right. Yeah, it's cold. It's like I cannot get warm at the moment, so I'm sitting here in a hoodie and I've had to roll up the sleeves. But hey guys, good to see you. A little bit of a different view today. But before we get into it and explain what we're going to be doing for the next just under an hour or so, let's say hey, we have got Leia Rose. Great to see you. We've got the lovely Courtney. Good to see you as always. We've got Abomination AJ. We've got our favourite vampire, Nosferatu, who is apparently missing you, Nathan.
Well, dude, it's good to see you online. I don't know how I did it. I accidentally, I think, nodding off watching a stream on my phone. I apparently had blocked him at one point. And I'm like, I'm such an idiot with this stuff. And I'm like, how do I unblock somebody? I had to go search it up on the internet, and they're like, oh, this is how you do it. And now I can see his comments again. So it's good to see you, Nas. We've been missing you.
Wasn't done on purpose.
No, it was not. It was me being 40 years old and nodding off like I do in front of the television. And I've turned into my father.
You get to a certain age and you just look forward to taking a nap. I don't know what it is. Anything past 35, I think.
Well, and it doesn't matter what you're watching either. I mean, I could be watching Die Hard, which I love immensely, and I will fall asleep in the middle of an action scene, and it reminds me of a time that I went to the movies with my dad, and we were watching this suspense thriller with a whole bunch of action and loud noises and everything. And halfway through it, I look over in the middle of this scene. I look over at my dad, and he's got his head cocked back, his mouth open, and he's snoring.
I love it. Let me say hello to another couple of people. We've got Callisto. Welcome. Great to see you. We've got Adega Outlaw. Always good to see you, Adega. Hello. We've got Gun Bunny. We've got Jaden Hamilton. Smile a while for me. Is listening in, but he's very busy at the moment. Great to see you, lovely, as always. And Broken Entertainment. Hello there. Good to see you guys. So, I'll explain what I'm doing today. Like I said, it's a little bit different. We haven't done one of these for a while, but I am a very lucky girl, and one of my Christmas presents was this kit. It was given to me by Salty, so a huge thank you. And what it is, it has apparently fossils inside, so we have to kind of scrape away with the little tools that come with the kit and see what's inside, and I thought that would be fun to do today. I'm hoping that there's a shark's tooth in there. That's what I'd really like. Nathan, what are you doing today?
I am going with my first foray into miniature painting, and this is a generic little Death Knight that I picked up.
Oh, look at him.
At the Dungeons and Dragons store, or whatever it's called. and he's all primed in black because I wanted to have a little darker of a tone to him. I figured that was appropriate. And now I've got, like like I was saying backstage, look at all of these tens of paints that I have.
The variety, Nathan, the variety.
I'm telling you, you know, I'm such the professional modeler, you know.
So is this the first time that you've painted one of these, or have you painted them in the past and want to get back into it? And Upon My Nation AJ says, I've got to build my Gundam. I've seen a lot of people build them and they are incredible, so I would love to see that, AJ.
Yeah, so for me, this is my first time painting any model at all.
Okay.
I am not artistic. It's yes, you are. So that's my daughter in the background if you heard her. But my foray into painting, it was, here's a circle and a stick. That's the head, the body, straight arms and legs. And that's
so not quite Bob Ross, but getting there.
Right. Yeah, actually, I can do the extent of my artistry right here. Turkey.
Okay, I like that. That's pretty darn cool.
Right.
Now you need to cut that out and actually decorate it for the next build.
Yeah.
Cookie said I need to continue knitting my chain / scale mail. Okay, that's amazing.
Dude.
That's pretty good. Let me say hello to Wakazashi. Great to see you as always, Gray. And hello to Jade the Deep Mind. She says, hi all. Looks like I've arrived in time for some mini painting. Absolutely. And I know Jay is a big fan of the, especially Warhammer, I believe. And so is Broken Entertainment. He says, I paint a lot of the 40k and fantasy models, most of them printed. You were telling me backstage about the printed and how it's really kind of taken off with people 3D printing things.
Yeah, my little brother is starting to get into it, and he has a friend of his that sells a lot of stuff online, specifically like with Star Wars and stuff like that, where doesn't need to be licensed and whatnot. And it can be very lucrative as a side hustle. Some people can even turn it into full-time businesses, which baffles me, but that's quite all right. That doesn't take much to baffle me. But it is interesting. And there was OBG70, I was telling you, has a model of Treebeard with Merry and Pippin on his shoulders that he's been working on, and I got to see a little unreleased version of that just looks absolutely incredible.
Well, it seems to be in the last at least couple of years, it's really taken off. I know a lot of people that have these 3D printing machines, and they say, hey, it's a Lord Thruff, great to see you. We've got Nighthawk in the chat, Zakarot 315. We've got the lovely Magitech Mags. Hey, sweetheart, good to see you. Yeah, I would love to do it, but I don't know much about it, I've got to admit, but I'm always really impressed when I see what people can create.
Yeah, it really is kind of this nice little technological new frontier that people can actually go in and actually be productive with, and just get a kind of do their own thing, and get away from the corporate end of stuff. And that to me is kind of an exciting aspect of all of this.
Yes, and it really has kind of taken people's imagination. And Brett Cohen, great to see you, says, I think in regards to the new poll I put up, he says, a favourite way to relax gardening is zen, but for a swim. But he's off for a swim. Have fun, everybody. That sounds really good as well. And let's see, Broken Entertainment says, a lot of the 3D print file creators are at this point on par or superior to Game Workshop's current models. I've heard that there seems to be a tremendous amount of variation, not just, because I like the, I guess they're called the fidget toys, the kind of jointed toys that they do. I see a lot of them on Etsy and things like that. And I think they're kind of fun to do. But I love the idea of these models that people can create.
Yeah, it's really, there are some really neat things out there. And I haven't even seen a whole lot of them, to be honest. But it is just really cool to see the different kinds of things that people can sit there and, they can be inspired by some monster in a typical Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or something out there. And then they'll sit there and get an imagination bug based off of that and create something that is very, very cool to see them do. And
I always wanted an armored pug character. Let me say hello to the man himself, Salty. Great to see you as always.
Good to see you, Corey. I got to get a hold of you later and get in touch regarding our the special project I've got you on the hook for that I have not been very active on.
Absolutely. Let me say hello and a huge thank you to Silver. Great to see you. He sends us a $9.99 super chat. Thank you. He says, okay, have an off-topic question. What do you use to hold your cameras to look down on the desk? Well, funny. Actually, I've threaded my camera through the arm of my mic. That's what I use. So literally all it is the camera I usually attach to the top of the laptop is currently pointing down. It's only because it has like a hinged part that I can thread through the middle, but a lot more people I think are more technically minded than I am, but kind of had to jerry rig this. Fingers crossed it works and looks okay.
Right. Yeah, yours is pretty close to spit, polish, and duct tape as a setup. Yeah, for me, I was able to find a cheap set of I guess they're bars that connect to everything, and so it's great to sit there and have that because it provides a lot. They've got hinges on them, so they're flexible in terms of their positioning. But then when I attach them to my desk, they get in the way. So I have a piece of plywood sticking out of the side of my desk at the moment that it's bolted to so that I can have space to do this.
Oh my God, I love it. Speaking of which, Nosferatu says, Salty, that was a banging intro. Yes, indeed it was. And let me bring in the man himself. Let me say hello to Salty Traveling Sea.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, banging. What's up, Nathan? Yeah, I was doing some IRL stuff, but I've been working on this awesome project for a while. Purple Valkyrie knows some of my lamentations, trying to get paint to stick. But yeah, happy to be here. Happy to hang out a little bit.
Absolutely, and I love the color of that octopus. I remember when you were telling me about it, and it's almost got a kind of translucent look to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, and this is a reissue of a model from the 60s or 50s or something like that. It's available at Walmart. I was wandering in there to go buy like motor oil and wiper blades or whatever, and stumbled across a whole display. Well, no. Yeah, maybe.
Definitely not eggs.
But no, not eggs. But this was a big thing back in the day. You used to see them in the 70s and a lot of the horror monster stuff. Purple Valkyrie and I look at some of those things like Dracula and Frankenstein, but this one in particular, you got like the undead and there's the octopus and all the other stuff. So I'm just working on the base right now. So
Absolutely. Let me say hello to Rewarding Nation Gaming and Clips. I hope I said that right. I think I just butchered your name. My apologies, but great to see you. And great as Midnight Diner, Red Octopus Wieners. I'm not sure if he's talking in code or.
Yeah. Again, great. None of us are here to judge your proclivities. We know you live in Japan, so it's all tentacles all the time. Okay. All right. There we go.
And let me say hello to Zax and congratulations again. Good to see you.
Hail, Zax. Hail, Zax.
Hail.
Zax.
But I don't know, there's something very calming about doing this, and I think I picked the wrong square because I'm digging down into this and I can't find anything, so I might have to move squares. But I read the instructions like I was supposed to do, because I'm a professional, and it said to mark it off into squares, and then what you do is you wet the plaster and it softens it up, and then you can dig into it, and fingers crossed there's something hidden inside. So I must have picked a wrong square because I can't feel anything in this one, but that's okay. Eventually I will dig the entire tray out, no doubt.
I think this is awesome, by the way. That is a really cool thing. And what are you going to find? Fossils in there?
Yes, I was telling when we first started about the kit, so I'm really hoping there's a shark's tooth, as I said, but I take a fossilized shell. I think that would be kind of amazing as well.
Or a mammoth. A mammoth.
Or a mammoth, exactly. Yeah, like a mammoth.
Someone asked.
I told her beforehand. I'm like, that looks like a very American thing that you've got there. She's like, yep, it is.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Someone was asking about how do you get a camera arm that you can put over that bends like this. I actually have a clip-on one that's very much like a microphone arm, only it has a different type of a attachment. So it attaches onto a standard fitting of the camera, which would be behind here, and then it's kind of loosey-goosey. You kind of have to just kind of hang it and see what happens. But I won't. You don't ever want to show people what's behind the curtain. We'll just say that. But
no, we're all professionals. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. But if you want a link to what I use, it's not. I wish I was getting an endorsement off of it, but no, it's just basically a mic arm with a camera attachment setting that you can get for it. So.
And let me say hello to another artist in chat, Makini Draws. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Courtney says, okay, gotta go. So if she's driving, drive safe, honey. You have a good one. Thank you. It's always good to see you. Let's see who else we've got in chat. Asdaja, great to see you. As always, warm welcome to you. So what do you guys think? Do you think that doing these sort of things is relaxing? Do you think people should do more of it? Because I was talking to Nathan, you probably heard about 3D printing and how it really seems to have taken off.
Let me get myself off mute. I was moving closer to my octopus. No, so I have something that I am not ready to unveil. That is a project that Brightest Day actually started showing me some stuff and 3D printed something for me. And I didn't know about this. I mean, I know people have printers like this, but I am constantly amazed at the detail of things that people get. Brightest Day is one of those guys. OBG70 is doing a Red Sonja for me. And the size of these things, you can get them to be 12 inches. They're not just, small little D&D figures. The one from Brightest Day, I think, is 16 inches tall, maybe 18 inches tall.
Okay,
yeah.
It's quite a miniature.
Yeah. And same thing with OBG70. I mean, I think that Red Sonja is 12 or 11 inches tall. And that's what I want for behind me, when I do live streams. I want to have things like that are made by my friends who are immensely creative and have these technical skills that I don't have, and then make it my own by painting it, much like this groovy little octopus right here. But yeah, I always built models. I don't know about you, Purple and Nathan, if you guys were big model builders or not.
I wasn't. I was more of a kind of make your own. I used to love to kind of play with clay and see what I could come up with that way. What about you, Nathan? Were you a model guy growing up?
I always wanted to be. My brother would do some World War II plane models.
Yeah,
My older brother, and I really wanted to get into it, and for whatever reason, I just never did. I couldn't tell you why. It probably has something to do with patience, and the lack thereof.
Oh yeah.
Because they do take patience, and you have to have a patient and steady hand to do that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
and that's not been my typical forte through the course of my life.
Let me say hello to Polyme's minion. Great to see you, sweetheart. Nosferatu says that Nathan was a male model growing up. And I love how you're painting the nails of that hand, by the way, that turkey picture.
Yeah. Now it's actually funny that Nos says that,
Oh God!
because there was. It's not true.
Oh, okay.
It is not true. I look like I have two dad bods. But when I was in middle school, they had this person come in to kind of do coaching on how to present yourself in public settings, which is a good thing. I don't know that necessarily gets taught a lot today.
No.
And
my pronouns are
right.
are I eat out of a dumpster. That's my pronouns. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, unless your idea of presenting yourself is how many septum piercings do I need to sit there and guarantee myself a job?
Yeah. Whenever the wind whistles, you sound like a calliope. I think that's yeah. Sorry.
So no, you're fine. And so went through this whole presentation, and then at the end of it, she went by each of us, asked us our name and shook our hands to kind of see how much we really absorbed what she was saying. And I had always been a kid. My parents said, you're a guy, you shake hands, and it needs to be firm.
Oh yeah.
And you look the person in the eye and you communicate clearly with them.
Yeah.
And so I did just that. And apparently I had made a good impression with this lady, that she noted my name, and all of a sudden the home phone rings, and it's this person, this person's office that is calling me, asking if I had any interest in some sort of work with them. And at this point in time, I'm sitting there, I'm 12 or 13 years old. and I'm sitting there thinking, well, I know my parents would say no, but I also know that I would say no as well.
Yeah.
But thank you, I guess. So it's interesting that Nos says that, because that's the first time I have thought about that since 7th grade. So there we go.
You just unlocked a memory there, Nos.
It really did.
That was how it was, though. I mean, that was a big deal, is presentation and face-to-face and interpersonal communication skills, body language, all those things that we, you and I are about the same age, Nathan, but they taught that poise and making eye contact and a firm handshake and eloquence and thinking on your feet. And it's kind of been replaced by tantrums in the workplace,
Yes, there does seem to be a lot more, and the loudest voice, so what is it, squeaky wheel gets the grease, so that seems to be
whiniest one.
Yeah, the problem. Let me say hello and a huge thank you to Ian So Forth. He sends us a £15 super chat. Thank you, love.
Sweet.
He says, finally, an archaeological scratch card. You are not wrong. Yes, I'm clearly very bad at this, because I've scratched off 2 squares so far, and I'm either not digging down far enough, or they're all on this side. So we will keep checking. But thank you so much. And Salty, we've got a question from Leah Rose. She says, "Do the octo arms move?"
No, this is rigid plastic, as you can see. This is the backside, and this is going to sit on this rotting decking that's here, which I have to add detail on. But I kind of like to start with layers, so I want to get this sort of scored away, and I'm going to do some subtle things, like you can see on the edges there's tentacle like sucker cups, and Gray would know all about that. But I just want to porn. But I just wanted to add a little detail because this will be at a distance, and unlike a lot of people who have more skills than I do, I don't have the hand-eye coordination to do that detail work. I don't. And so but I can go hunting. But yeah, I haven't painted a model in 30 something years. So that I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm kind of faking it, but that's okay.
Yeah, so Nathan was saying this is the first technically one that he's done, but it's just something very relaxing about doing this. And the last couple that we did, I know that you were putting together your pirate ship, which looked incredible, and I think I was painting a miniature, but it is great to see this. And Zach says, "Oh no, where's this story going, Nathan?"
Right. I know. But that was the case, though. But that was the case back in the 80s. I mean, there were so many movies where, The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox, the epitome of the 80s, which is pull yourself up by your bootstraps, work hard and you'll get ahead. And if the system gets in your way, well, screw the system, do it your way. And that's a weird message. That's it was in virtually every 80s teen movie out there. The system doesn't exist to help people. It exists to create power structures and control. And it's just, again, ironic that all of this entertainment for the current generation absolutely has that lacking. Like, you know what? You don't need to be part of this, and you don't need to do what everybody says. You go your own way. That's gone.
Yes, critical thinking seems to be not there anymore. And I don't know if that comes down to the individual, or whether it comes down to education, or what it comes.
Well, and isn't that really a sad thing too? Because you can sit there and see things that we had when we were children, and they were perfectly innocent and actually properly done to train kids. And now these days it's kind of like, oh well, there's got to be ulterior motives with that then, and we're forced to think in that method because it has turned into that type of thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yes. Christopher Moonlight Productions, great to see you. Hey there. It says, "What are we making?" Well, I am slowly trying to excavate, looking for fossils. So fingers crossed we will find something very cool very soon. I'm either not going down deep enough, or I'm just picking the wrong squares, but that's what I'm looking for. Salty is painting a rather beautiful octopus.
Oh yeah.
Which is very cool. And Nathan is painting his miniature as well. And let me say hello to Dave Bob. Great to see you. We've also got Zombie Box Reviews. Hello, guys.
Hail, everybody. Great turnout.
Yeah, we have a great crowd. It is so good to see people. And I just wanted to kind of hang out today because we haven't done one for a while, and just kind of chat, and didn't really have anything topic-wise, but wanted to see what you guys wanted to talk about and kind of where the chat would lead us.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, it is weird to watch where entertainment is gone, and I'm not going to go down on my salty road. I'm not, but it's just, when you make a video and then it's kind of contrary to what popular opinion is, and then the articles come out saying we made something just to trick you to watch something, and it's entertainment. Like, we're here to be activists. We're here to take the things that you love and destroy it, and it's just like, I don't know. There's a certain point for me, and I've been reaching critical mass with that. And Purple, I think you have too, where I just can't bitch and complain anymore. We know what we're gonna get, and if we, if we don't understand that by now, then I don't know what it's gonna take. If they're gonna do what they're gonna do to Tolkien and all these other things, there's nothing off limits, which isn't negative. It's not black pill. It's just, it can't hurt me that way. You know?
No, there's no shame in saying, I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yeah.
Nos says he wants you to paint him like one of his French figurines.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to put a French-made costume on this octopus. Does that work for you?
Nos, boy, do we miss you.
Yeah, we did.
And Leah Rose says, Purple, what are you building? Technically, I'm unbuilding, so if I bring it up closer to the camera, basically what it is it's a block of kind of plaster, and inside are buried various fossils and things. So you have to kind of dig away, you moisten the plaster to loosen it, and then dig it away with these tools, which are actually surprisingly heavy, especially the hammer. I don't think I'll need to hit anything because I wouldn't want to break it, but that's what I'm doing. Let's see what else you guys are saying. It skipped on me. Dave Bob says, I can be led down the primrose path if you're willing to put in a little effort.
Is somebody hitting on Nathan again? Is that what
It wouldn't be the first time.
I know. You're the Brad Pitt of not lesbians, aren't you?
Well, even poor Gray said in the chat, he said he tried modelling, but apparently he had a face for radio.
Right. That would be it. And then I found out I could cover my face with my beard, so that made it even better.
Oh, wow.
My wife has only seen me clean shaven one time, and it was for one day.
You sent me some pictures because we actually do talk a lot off camera about like the IRL, where you had like, I think your wedding picture in the background, and I was checking you out and I was like, damn, look at that strapping young man and his blushing bride. Yeah,
boy, I didn't realize you were getting that deep into the picture. Holy cow,
dude! I'm like the NSA. I tell you, no, I pay an incredible amount of attention to detail with stuff like that. So.
Well, what we're hitting 19 years in May. And,
congratulations!
So,
Congratulations!
It's been a long time, but it's been awesome. And I look at those pictures and I'm like, oh my, that does not look like me anymore.
Yeah.
No, Nathan's embraced his inner wizard at this stage.
It's true.
Seriously.
Very true.
By the way, yeah, and so Corey shoots me this picture of the combination of the mashup of the Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, yes.
And he turned me like he did his little face swap stuff, and I was Gandalf, and I'm like, yep. My wife looks at me. She's
works.
Like, yep.
Close. Yeah. I have,
and then he followed that up with a picture of a bunch of us face swapped into Married with Children, and I was Christina Applegate.
I did that to Gray too, just because I was like, you know what, people haven't had enough trauma today. I'm gonna send them a deep fake of Gray has Christina Applegate was particularly disturbing. If we can,
I'm sure.
Gray also says he has major beard envy.
Oh. Well, you just let it grow.
Beard on the stream.
And I think we've just lost a subscriber. Apparently, Nos says Nathan's married, unsubscribed. Damn.
Well, he does have his OnlyFans page, and I'll drop the link in private chat for Nathan. And it is something to behold. I'm the moderator of that, and boy,
it's just beard pictures.
It's just beard pictures.
Yeah. Here we go.
Stunning your brain. Megatron says Purple's training to be a paleontologist. Funny enough, I think all kids at one stage kind of go through that. They have the dinosaur phase, but I did actually want to be an archaeologist at one point, but it didn't happen. But I still love dinosaurs.
Yeah,
and,
who doesn't love dinosaurs? Sorry.
Everyone loves dinosaurs. I will ask you guys what your favorite dinosaur is. But let me say, Christopher says that it's time to walk away from the franchises and build our own. Indie films with lots of miniature effects are a good start.
Yeah, it is crazy. And I shared this with Purple Valkyrie, and I have yet to make a video on it, but there's an independent film that somebody just spent $15,000 to make. and it has made, I believe, 1,000 times the cost to make the film. It was originally going to be released like in 20 theaters, but the buzz on this got so big that it just went nationwide with 300 theaters, and I think has crossed over like 1 million and something. And you can't get that kind of return on investment. Now, obviously, the hot market is the horror one. You know, doing horror movies, you can cut a lot of budget out of that. You don't need to have a lot of FaceTime. You know, you can have a lot of found footage if you have a good story. But how you do that in a fantasy world, that's a little bit of a challenge. But I think it can be done. I think it can.
Yes, well, the films that have surprised me so far this year, and they were around about Christmas, so it was actually Del Toro's take on Pinocchio, which I watched and I thought was actually excellent because I'm a huge fan of stop motion. And the Puss in Boots, the sequel to that, was surprisingly heartwarming. I was kind of pleasantly surprised. Yes.
It's interesting. I don't even think I've seen the original on that because I got kind of
I
burned out with all the
hadn't.
Shrek style animation stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And Gunbenny says Shockwave and she has been married for 23 years in August.
Oh,
Ooh,
congratulations. That's amazing. That
Nice.
is wonderful. It really is.
It kind of beats the everybody gets divorced narrative.
Yes, yes, indeed. So I did ask, and chats are starting to answer. Guys, what is your favorite dinosaur? So Awesome One says T-Rex. For me, it'll always be Triceratops, but the T-Rex is pretty darn cool as well. Yeah, T-Rex is the goat. What about you guys?
I'm a normie with it, so T-Rex is good for me too. It always has been.
Nice.
When Jurassic Park was out, the Raptor took its place for a hot minute, but you know, come on, little arms, but can still take you out. You know, T-Rex is the way to go.
For me, it's the Brontosaurus. Okay, and it's not just because of the Flintstones, although I have to admit that's subliminal impact. But I always like the idea of, well, sure, yeah. I've always liked the idea of seeing them, these huge, beautiful, huge, giant herbivores just grazing, like in some, you know, like freshwater area, eating the kelp or whatever it is, eating the grasses, just imagining the scope and scale of this magnificent creature. You know what I mean? Like that to me, I don't know. There's something really peaceful in that, you know? But if you wanted to pin me down on which fighting dinosaur is best, I kind of like the Triceratops. There's not a lot to not like about the Triceratops.
Triceratops are very cool. And another one that I really like, it's got that kind of horn or crest on the back of its head. It's called the Parasaurolophus, which is really which is a cool one.
Never. I'll trust your judgment.
Let me say hello to the lady Mist as well. Great to see you.
Hey.
What else have we got? You guys are killing it today. Great to see everybody. Awesome One says, oops, let me grab it. I have a Triceratops transform. That is very cool. Leia Rose, Raptor. She can relate.
Right on. Yeah. Who knew that Jurassic Park was kind of changed the entire genre of dinosaur, you know, movie going, and when we think of dinosaurs, it's the immediate go-to as far as what we think. You know, there were so many great stop motion movies that included dinosaurs. Great meaning being very subjective, but the claymation stuff and what is the Harry Harryhausen, the Harryhausen stuff. I remember watching those like on Sundays with my grandpa, and these were great movies. There's so much that is out there. We don't have to be slaves to the crap that's being put out, but I don't know what it is about dinosaurs. I don't know. They ruled this planet for millions of years, and it's one of your pet peeves, Purple Valkyrie, that people think that all the dinosaurs existed all at the same time, and that's not true. There were different waves of different dinosaurs, and they were separated by hundreds of millions of years.
Yes, when people think of dinosaurs, they think of like the T-Rex and the Stegosaurus going at it. But technically, in regards to time, we're closer to the T-Rex than the T-Rex ever was to the Stegosaurus. That's how far apart they actually were. And we've covered this when we talked about Woo-Woo. We talked about the armored dinosaurs basically taking over the planet because nothing could kill them.
Yeah. Except giant meteors from space.
Yes, yeah, they weren't that armored, but they were probably working on it at the time.
Yeah. Unlike now, where everything trying to kill us is human-made. And yeah.
I actually have a little rock triceratops. I'm not sure if you can see him.
Oh,
There he
that's
is.
cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Little dude. I love him. He's so cute.
By the way, the comment from, I think it was Jay with the Deep Minded, recommending thinner coats for me, and doing a couple of them rather than large ones. Thank you. I appreciate it. I wanted to let you know I saw the comment. So
Yes, thank you, Jay. Yeah. Must have missed that one, but yeah. And you were saying that it's all kind of trial and error because you haven't done this before, but you did prime it beforehand.
Yeah, that was we got a whole bunch of these little minis as a family. We're kind of doing those as a family night, and I had an extra one, and I thought, oh wait, I could just do this in this build stream here.
It's a good idea.
Get tips from everybody. So far so good. It's worked.
It is relaxing though, isn't it? You can just kind of be absorbed in it, and I don't know. I think we've all gotten to the stage where there isn't really anything coming out that we want to watch.
No.
So being able to do this, or even like the poll I put up, what do people do to relax? We've got a lot of people that are getting back into reading, which is great to see, or they've been long-term readers.
Well, it's funny. I just last night might have stayed up a little late because I'd never played Witcher all the way through. I gave up because the learning curve was so steep on it. And I finally sat down with it and I was like, damn it, this is still a steep learning curve. But I might have not had an entirely dry eye at the end when the story ends. And I cannot believe the world building and how engaged I was in these characters, which just are video game characters, in a fantasy setting. And I've read the Witcher books multiple times. But what CD Projekt Red did, and before they turned woke and got infiltrated with that story, that is a world that I didn't want to leave. I really didn't want to leave, and I need to get all the DLCs for it. But people can write good stories. They really, really can. It's just that they're not, and we don't have to keep ingesting the destruction of those characters. And to me, I'm reaching a point where I'm tired of complaining about something that is not going to change, and at a certain point I'm doing their work for them, which is marketing that's full of agenda, so that then they can say we're all ists and phobes and all this other bullshit. So
Yes, we've heard this before, definitely. Let me just say again, thank you to Ian Seforth for a good evening. Says, by the next iteration of Jurassic Park, Raptors will be running software companies.
You have your own Jeffrey Island with little dinosaurs. Yeah. Sorry.
They'll be sending in a monitor with their own reader eyeglasses, and
it's true. With their own Kindles, Yeah.
I want to see a T-Rex with a Kindle. That would be kind of amazing.
Talking in proper English and very erudite language.
I wonder what a dinosaur's pronouns are. Yeah.
We've also got Nerdporial. Great to see you. It says Nathan needs to recite some Tolkien poetry.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
No,
right.
no.
Well, he says that because we're doing that read through of Lord of the Rings on the White Cloaks channel, and he worked up an intro for them,
Oh, right on.
and he asked me to read "The Road Goes Ever On and On" poem that Bilbo
Oh,
sings when he's leaving. So I read it, sent him the audio, and since then he's just like, dude, you need more poetry, and I'm like, oh dear Lord.
well, Nathan's kind of a dark horse when it comes to
Oh, yeah.
narrating because he did a
Oh, yeah.
fantastic rendition of The Cask of Amontillado.
Oh, yeah. I was honored to have you on the Halloween stuff that I did. And you also did your own version of reading from The Hobbit, which is absolutely genius as well, dude.
Yeah, I think for Tolkien's birthday, I read the end passage of the last chapter of Lord of the Rings. And then finally Sam gets home and says, well, I'm back, and that ends the book, and as well as the movie, which thrilled me to death that they did that Peter Jackson did that. And it's such a special ending, and reading it, especially having recently read that to my kids, Tolkien just means so much more as a result of doing that. And so that's why going through this reread is another just special thing, and to be able to talk with the guys on White Cloaks has been the first video we did on it last weekend was just an absolute blast, because we're sitting there talking about something that we absolutely love, and it was just a great shift.
It is a different energy to talk about the things that you love and the enthusiasm. I mean, that's why we used to congregate in comic book shops, or gaming shops. And, I don't think it's deliberate that a lot of these, I'm not even going to call them activists, but globalist stooges that are out there are doing a lot of these things is to create fragmentation and to deconstruct, and I worry because it was so fundamental to me being a teenager and feeling disconnected from, I wasn't cool enough, or I was too fat, or, you know what I mean? Like I was poor, but I had fantasy and I could share that with people. And now, unfortunately, it looks like the solution is well, if you don't feel right about yourself, you need to do things that are going to cause irreparable harm to your body. As opposed to, you can go play Dungeons and Dragons, or you can go learn how to play a sport. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, yeah.
Absolutely. It's worrying.
It is. Yeah. It's a lot, and we don't seem to have I don't know whether it's right to say we don't have the same kind of nerds that we had in the 80s, but people don't seem to celebrate their fandoms the way they used to.
I think there's a lot of reliance on the technology to feed the dopamine hit as opposed to using imagination. And when you take away imagination from or a child's ability to imagine, you really do them a great disservice. And if you don't learn to do it at a young age, I don't know if it can actually come back to you. When you're, developmentally between 3 to 5 years old, that's when you have imaginary friends, you go off on adventures. And a lot of that was traditionally spurred by reading books, and then taking that internal monologue of the story and putting yourself into it or being in that world. And when you rely on something to speak to you or to tell you what to think or just press the button, I don't know if that skill is necessarily developed, but
it does seem to be that way, yeah. And I grew up listening to, well, before I even read, I was read stories as a child, my mum would read fairy tales, but the kid-friendly version of the Grimm fairy tales. And then when I got older, I realised, there's a much darker version of Snow White and a much darker version of Cinderella, which was a lot of fun. Let me just say a huge thank you to Mags. Great to see you. She says, woo-woo future topic? Dinosaurs. Absolutely. If you'd like us to cover dinosaurs, we certainly can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's funny. We did a video on China. Everybody loves when I do that. about a year ago, and for whatever reason, people in China really like hearing about their Chinese discoveries, which apparently are very much talked about. But dinosaurs, they've been finding a lot in Asia, obviously, because it's a large landmass, but they're trying to rewrite some of the dinosaur history with some new discoveries, but I don't know. That's there's some interesting things going on in all fields when they actually do science.
We've talked about it, especially on the Woo Woo Show, how when it comes to things like archaeology, they don't really want to rewrite things. They want to keep things as they were. And, you know, silly me being naive, I thought the whole point of scientists was that they always wanted to discover new things, but apparently that's not the case. Speaking of discovering new things, I think I might have found something in the corner.
Oh, what did you find?
It looks like a seashell, so I'm just going to wet this down. Ian said, which ending did you get, Salty?
I got the one where, because it's my first playthrough, it's where Cirilla leaves to go be Empress, and then I end up with Yen, because I wasn't trying to bang every sorceress that was out there, and we basically, she loved me, I loved her, and you know, Dandelion was good, and Zoltan was good, and I killed Radovid. Oops, spoilers. Anyway, yeah. But what do you guys think of my wood weathering? Does it look like weathered dock wood? I'm going to add some green because one thing living in the Pacific Northwest is, you know, all about rotting wood. But yeah, I think that
looks great. Yeah, I was going to say you're going to add like a moss effect or a seaweed.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm touching, it's funny, I'm touching my earbuds because I'm very, very hands-on when I do anything. So this is what I look like when I bake, when I paint, when I do everything. Like I like to work things in, especially when you have something as grained as like a wooden dock or what this is. You know, you gotta work, to me, the paint in to get, you can see the irregular blackness of it, like it is rotting wood. So
yes, if I just lift this up as well, actually you can see it, but right there,
what you got, Purple?
Right there is a little seashell fossil. So I'll dig that out in a moment.
How are you doing over there?
You have to play the DLC, by the way.
I want to. I really, really want to. One thing about also The Witcher 3 is the music is incredible. It is so freaking amazing, so that even when I go back and read Sapkowski's books, I kind of hear the music from the game now and while I'm reading the books. I don't know, it's such a good adaptation. It really is. I'll be back. I gotta go find my green paint.
Okay. Mag says the only pronouns dinosaurs care about are prey and predator. You are not wrong. Nos is apparently cancelling me for using the phrase dark horse. And again, let me say thank you to Nerdporial. Great to see you, Brian. You are absolutely crushing it at the moment. He said fragmentation is anti-Nerdporial. And let me say hello to Brightest Day. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well today. Now, there's a gentleman who'd be able to tell us all about 3D printing. I know Salty doesn't want to spoil the surprise of what it is at the moment, but guys, when you see it, you're going to be very, very impressed.
Yeah, our man, Brightest Day, is a scholar and a gentleman. Again, I talked him into doing the very first live stream. Truly the live stream I ever did. He came on with OBG70 and I a million years ago, and since then we've been following, tagging each other, talking here and there, but also he helped out with the War of the Worlds. And when I did that radio drama, just like, you and Nathan both helped me with that as well. And I was admiring some of the work that he was doing with this 3D printing, and asked him to make something really big for me, and he did. And I can't wait to show it off. So mad respect to you, sir. Mad respect. Brightest Day.
Absolutely.
All right. Oh,
it's time for you to leave.
It is. I have to go and get my daughter from her show choir practice.
Right on.
But I wanted to show this off just a final
Yes,
time.
let me
Flip it
make
the right
that.
way.
Let me fill
Dude,
the
that's
screen.
awesome.
There we go. Look at that.
Get the focus
Dude.
here.
Okay, that
Yeah,
is beautiful.
all the paints I don't have red. I wanted to do red in the visor and on the
It's a
sword,
primary
but
color, Nathan.
I know.
I got red over here. I'll just hand it over to you. It'll be fine.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, but yeah, not a
That
bad
is
start.
incredible.
I think I want to make the armor a little darker, but yeah, they're called layers.
Yeah, man.
Yes, and going by what the chat was saying, you build up the layers. So that
Yeah.
is very, very cool. I'd love to have you back if
Yeah.
you would like to
Oh,
continue, because
yeah,
I'd love to
absolutely,
see
I
how
would.
it comes along.
Well, it's been too long since we've been able to do a chill stream, so I really appreciate you being wanting to be able to do this and just have some time to together and chat. So it's just good to talk to you guys.
Thank you, Nathan, and best wishes to your daughter as well.
Yeah, let me know when
definitely.
when I get together on that thing we started working on, dude. No pressure. Just let me know.
Yeah.
So.
Are you on tonight with Zax, or
No, I'm just gonna be hanging tonight.
you're gonna be hanging tonight? Okay, I might reach out to you and we can share a pipe and discuss the stuff.
I love that
Not the
idea.
same pipe.
No,
Not the same pipe.
No, and there's
Idiots.
nothing sexual. There's nothing sexual about that. It's actually a tobacco reference.
It is. I love that you guys have got that hobby. That's something I want to talk to you guys about on one of these streams as well. But thank you, Nathan. I really appreciate you joining.
Oh, thanks again for having me on. It was fun. I really enjoyed being able to do this and just chat with you guys. It's fun. This is friendship. This is fellowship. It's all good.
It's true. It's totally true. Missed you, dude. You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
We've got good people. I think Grace said it earlier. We have a really good community, and he's absolutely right. Psychodorf says he's in the middle of painting a monster. If you want to see it, I'll send you a DM. Absolutely, I'd love to see it. I've seen quite a bit of Psychodorf's art on Twitter, and he's really good at the miniatures.
That is awesome.
Sweet. All right. Well, you guys take it easy, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks for chat, and being great participants as always, and we'll see you on the other side.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nathan.
Later, dude.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Nuff says Purple was definitely that kid in class who loved dissecting our pellets. I can neither confirm nor deny that was the case. I'm certainly the kid that used to be fascinated by tide pools, especially when I used to go. I never used to like to sunbathe, but if there was a beach and tide pools, that's where you would find me.
That's cool.
And Gadfly Fiction, great to see you, says, when it comes to stories for children, all the greatest ones have darkness in them. Beatrix Potter stories are a great example. These are the type of stories that the ones that kids tend to love. Absolutely. I was a huge fan of Beatrix Potter, and some of those are surprisingly dark. Did you guys have Beatrix Potter? Because I know you guys had more the, is it Dr. Seuss was a big children's author for you?
I think it's generational. We definitely did. And where you went to school, we had an excellent librarian in the tiny little school system I grew up in. And so she just brought all those things out. Beatrix Potter and, reading The Wind in the Willows, Aesop's Fables. A lot back then, this is in the 70s, was talking about stories that had morals. And you didn't realize that as a kid, you were essentially being like taught, don't lie, don't shield, don't be an asshole. You know what I mean? And yeah.
Ooh, I think I've got something.
Sweet.
It's a little bit of amber.
Oh, that's awesome. Purple.
Okay. I will clean that off and show that. But it looks like they've kind of all grouped together because I've got the amber and then I've got the shell as well that I'm trying to dig out. So let me see if I can clean that off a little bit. But I've missed a couple of member chats, so let me grab those. Thank you guys for your patience. So we had one from Zax. He says this one was for Nathan. He said he's quoting him, the model coach at school made me firm.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got a huge thank you to Nerdporial, who was gifted a membership. Thank you so
awesome.
much. Really appreciate you. You guys are amazing. Let me see if I've missed anybody else, because that's what it's. I don't know why, but it doesn't do on any of these streaming platforms. It doesn't
No.
give the members thing. But yeah, so Chris has become a member thanks to Nerdporial. Thank you, and great to
Cheers.
see you, Chris Wood. He said, let's see if I can find it. I'll scroll back up something. Up there it is. He said, if you want to cover dinosaurs and such, I suggest you consider getting Nerdroticon. Yes, I
Yeah,
remember.
that would
Yeah,
be cool.
that would be cool. Because I remember you used to do the kind of the woo-woo style show. The
Exozone.
Exozone,
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was the show where that's when we were all locked down and I couldn't go to parks, and guess where I was? I was in the parks. And I was going back through old Exozone episodes, and that's where I learned him and Doomcock talking about Graham Hancock. And I went back and then went down a rabbit hole that led me to a lot of book purchases and discovery and reading and watching things. And then talking with Purple Valkyrie, we decided to do the Woo Woo Show and Phenomenal and all those other things like that. And it's a topic that it continues to expand. The thing about talking about woo woo is, and especially related to dinosaurs, is there has been a tremendous amount of discoveries since we went to high school, we went to college, whenever they started talking about these things, but not a lot of us know about them, and they're constantly finding new bones. They're constantly finding new interactions. They're constantly finding things in white papers that challenge just the simple narrative we were told before. And I just think it's freaking awesome.
Absolutely. I've got some pictures that I've just been sent. So let me open this up in a.
What do you think of? What do you think about my moldy, rotting?
Okay, that looks great. You can see what you mean about building up the layers, because some are deeper than others.
Mm-hmm.
That is cool, and
I
it looks kind of slimy.
That's what I wanted. I mean, because I have to mix my own green because I lost my green. Do they even teach people, like kids, how to do that, like mixing
Probably
colors?
Not. No.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Your pronouns in kindergarten. Yeah. My pronouns are Zur and Z, but I have no idea how to make green with yellow and blue. Yeah. Sorry, I snorted on that one. Yeah.
Let me share this, because we've just got this from Psychodorf 9. So let me put this on full screen so you can see. There we go. So this is what he's painting at the moment. That is kind of incredible.
Hold on. Oh, that's freaking awesome, man. I got to go big screen on this one. Okay, that's really, really, really cool. That is really, really cool.
That is beautiful. I love to see what you guys are making. It's fascinating, and you don't realize that we have a lot of talented people here.
Oh yeah, when we were doing the build streams last year, and just some of the things, like people that were making jewelry, or people that were making chainmail stuff, or people that were it doesn't matter, quilting, knitting, baking, gardening. It's a physical, tangible thing that exists. And when you do those things, you in your brain create dopamine more natural than like, oh my God, I got 100 of what's on my social media post. Oh my God. But you make a physical, tangible thing that exists. That's what it means to be human. It's not being plugged into, Bill Gates's Matrix or whatever.
No, and God knows he's trying. Yes.
Yeah. Chicken killer. He's a chicken killer.
I bought eggs today, and do you want to know how much I paid for a dozen eggs? $2.85.
How much do you normally pay?
Probably about 40 pence, 50 pence less than that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they just murdered a bunch of chickens here. This isn't the Woo Woo Show, but we all know why, and they're going full speed ahead with that. I love chickens, though. I used to have a flock of 10, and I had Barred Rocks and Rhode Island Reds. And if anybody's ever interested in chicken personalities, this is the thing. This is the thing. The Barred Rocks are probably the loudest, most obnoxious, gossipy chickens ever in the world, but they're a cold, hardy, dual-purpose breed, and they have amazing personalities. Those were the only ones that would come and sit on my lap and fall asleep in my lap. Is those chickens? If you raise them by hand, they will actually do that. They'll actually fall asleep in your lap.
So I love the idea of having chickens, and I've talked about it as well. I'm kind of researching beehives at the moment, and I'd love to have an apiary. I think that would be really cool because they use a lot of honey in cooking, or at least I'm trying to, and use it as a sugar substitute. But I think the whole idea of becoming more self-sufficient, I don't think anybody can go wrong with that.
No, just be aware. If you start doing that stuff, I wouldn't exactly be shouting it out. I would kind of keep it on the DL. There's a lot of reasons for that. This is not a woo-woo show, but it's called operational security, and it's something I think we're all going to be doing in our own ways sooner or later. So,
So we've got some great comments in the chat at the moment. Awesome one says YouTube has replaced Facebook.
yeah.
Let's see, we've got TZ Burton says, hey, you two, caught you live. Absolutely, great to see you.
Easy. Awesome
Good
to see
you.
you.
Let's see, Stunning and Brave Megatron, always good to see you. Says, yeah, the T-Rex was way more intelligent than what we saw in Jurassic Park. Well, I think we talked about that as well, and people said that it probably wasn't a scavenger, which people kind of they thought it was an apex predator, and then they thought it was more of a scavenger, and now it's gone back to be more of an intelligent hunter.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, just because you have a larger brain doesn't necessarily mean something. Just because you have a smaller brain doesn't necessarily mean something. You know what I mean? Look at a cat. Look at a cat's problem-solving skills compared to most SJWs that you see on social media. Just saying. Yeah.
Yes. Not sure if there's ever been an experiment run between the two of them, but I would be curious to see. But my money's on the cat.
My money's on the cat as well. Yeah.
Psychodraw says honey is wonderful. It is. There's a reason it's been used for so long. Gun Bunny, going back to the eggs, said bought 60 large eggs for $20. Usually it's 10 a box for 60.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday on the Woo Woo show. Anything organic has gone through the roof. One thing you are going to notice, and you probably here in the States, depending on where you are regionally, notice the cost of oats. Oats has gone through the roof. Any cereal crop, the crop this year was decimated. So I'm not advocating for you to go hoard and live a survivalist lifestyle, but I am advocating you to have situational and tactical awareness. You know, you can cost average things now. You know, you can buy something at prices now and what the prices will be at 6 months. Something else to watch for: tomatoes. Tomato crop was decimated here in the United States. Carrots decimated here in the United States. Flour, oats. I don't need to tell you about coffee. Coffee's getting stupid out there. So, yeah.
It's a lot, and it's not one thing, as you've correctly said. It's a lot of things, and I think people are starting to feel the pinch.
Yeah. Polycrisis. The polycrisis approach of our unloving, murderous, psychopathic overlords. Yeah.
Gadfly Fiction's got a great quote. It says, those who seek out happiness will experience greater levels of unhappiness, whilst those who seek satisfaction have far fewer and less severe levels of unhappiness.
Yeah. Yeah. I this is not a philosophical stream, but you're not going to buy your way to happiness. It helps to have money in the bank, because one of the greatest stressors ever is not having enough money. You know, I think a lot of people are facing that situation right now, but just, you know, for me, it's going out in the woods or walking on the shore and finding cool rocks, you know, like having a campfire, having some bourbon, hanging out with friends. Those are the most valuable things at this stage in my life, to me. You know, I don't need a McMansion. I don't need a Maserati. I don't need to have, you know, 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You know, peace and being left alone. There's a lot of draw for me right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's the thing. I've just saw a great comment, which I'm trying to find. If it pops up, I'll grab it from Nosferatu, but I'll get it anyway. I'll read it out. It says, he said he just noticed your ring, Salty. That's cool. He really likes your ring. And I just finished the poll. So I said, what's your favourite way to relax? So it was kind of a split. So 32% said read a book. Another 32% of you said watch films, TV or YouTube. 22% said they play games. And 13% say they like to exercise. So
Yeah.
that's a really good kind of split, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you for the ring. This is a lapis, and it's sterling silver. And I've got a couple different versions of this. I have a moonstone, and I have a labradorite. And labradorite is one of my favorite stones. But you know, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not a crystal rubbing hippie. I'm more like a crystal rubbing patriot. Let's say that. You know, that likes to eat organic because I don't like being poisoned with Roundup. But yeah, I love stones, and that's why I love to go on the beach and find things. And it's my dream to have a nice rock tumbler into some of these great stones that I found, get them turned into polished. The problem is it takes so long, and rock tumblers are so loud. I don't have a garage right now until I get another place, buy another house. But yeah, I look forward to doing that. But thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I didn't realize how long it actually takes to tumble rocks. I thought, you know, a couple of days maybe as you put it through the various, but it depending on the rock, it can take weeks.
Forever.
But I right there with you. I love collecting rocks. I love collecting seashells. It's just something very therapeutic about walking on a beach and being able to breathe in the salt air and listen to the ocean.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've all got things that resound to us, and I talk about it on the Woo Woo Show. I think, you know, why does a Chihuahua know how to be a Chihuahua? How does a Siberian Husky know how to be a Siberian Husky? You know, how does a Doberman Pinscher? It goes on, right? There's physical attributes, but how does that animal, which is a dog, know how to just be that dog? Now, I know selective breeding, but you can't, in my opinion, give animals the personality that they have simply by breeding one husky with another husky, and then you're going to get something. I think, like in human beings, that we have this too, that it's wired into us, and it's epigenerational through generations and generations and generations of who came before us, whatever things they've gone through. I think we get some resonance and some energy that comes to us. And if our ancestors went through hell and trauma, maybe we kind of get some of that, and we don't know why we're always banging our head up against the wall. And maybe I think there are some people who are very zen and very calm, you know, and maybe they didn't have to go through those things. But I don't know. That's a very esoteric conversation.
Yes, but I think there is something there. And like I said, this is something we've talked about in the past, and you know, behind the scenes, I think it's a valid idea.
Yeah.
Chris says he loves the ocean yet despises the beach. Stunning and brave Megatron once scared the crap out of his sister with a dead crab.
Sweet. I love stuff like that. I approve. I absolutely heartily approve of that.
And Jay says she loves labradorites. I've been using jewelry making, fascinated by the light reactive minerals.
Yeah,
Labrador. Favorite stone?
Say that again. Purple.
Do you have a favorite stone? Sorry.
Oh Lord. You know, I really love it because it's an ancient pagan birthstone for me. It's called bloodstone, and a good piece of bloodstone, because you know, we've got a lot of the current iterations of what these stones are. If you go back to the Middle Ages of the Renaissance, there was a completely different lexicon of what gems were associated with what astrological signs. Now, I don't hold much with astrology. I don't, but I do think that it is interesting that some of these minerals have different resonances and frequencies. And if we've learned anything from Tesla, and that's a show we need to have a show about how we as a species are about 100 years behind where we should be with technology because of what happened with Tesla. And now magically, oh, you just put your phone on this pad over here and it magically charges without being plugged in. You know, I mean, like there was a, you know, I mean, again, we got to do that as a movie show. But to answer the question, I really love Dragonstone. I really love Bloodstone. I love Labradorite. And of course, Moonstone. Moonstone, though, is one of those stones where if you believe in all the woo-woo, it amplifies whatever emotions you have. So it is really important to clarify that stone on a full moon to put it outside somewhere to make sure that it gets soaked with good full moon rays, you know, just as important as it is to disassemble and clean your firearms regularly. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Look after your stones. It seems like we've got quite a lot of fans as well. And just, I'll bring this one up because it made me laugh. Gumbunny says, my Rottweiler thought he was a Labrador and was the size of a Jack Russell. He was neither. He was 125 pounds and tall enough I didn't have to bend over to pet him. And he was only a lap dog to Shockwave. I love Rottweilers. They are the sweetest dogs.
It's true. They don't know their size. I used to go to a dog park where there was one that would jump on me all the time, and she loved to jump on people from behind. And you are not prepared for that sudden, you know, hit at the knees or lower back by a dog that size. So, yeah.
And Chris Wood says, for example, what the hell is lapis lazuli? Now I love that stone, but that's that is gorgeous, and I've seen that stone obviously in person, and it has flecks of gold in it, and that's one of the you know, the main things that lapis has. It's that deep, beautiful blue, but with the flecks in it.
It's yet another one of those stones that ancient civilizations used and incorporated in their mosaics and their tile work. In you know, the wealthy within those civilizations would have had them. You know, again, some people believed in amulets, and you know, it would be that. There's a bunch of stones. And I've been back on the shore, because it's not the beach, it's a rocky Pacific shore. I've been finding a lot of different kinds of rocks than I did typically. And I think a lot of it has to do with how many king tides we've had and other things. And just being in the right place at the right time. But brocaded jasper, there's another one that was used a lot, but a lot of marbles too. You know, a lot. Yeah, well, and a ton of agates, but I mean, these older civilizations going back thousands of years, you know, they really thought it important to incorporate these stones in the structures that they make. And again, I'm going to postulate this, that it wasn't merely for artistic design, but there was a frequency and a harmony and a resonance to things that maybe we've forgotten how to do it or what it is, you know. But I think Tesla was getting onto the pyrite specs in it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is beautiful, and it's fascinating. I would like to talk kind of gemstones, but I'm not very knowledgeable, but I just love them. I love jewelry. I love wearing them, and I'm right there with Salty. To take a walk on the beach and to look at rocks is incredibly relaxing.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
How's your painting coming along? Because I've dug out a couple of really cool things.
Show me what you got. I want to know. What did you find? What do you? Oh, okay, that's cool.
So we got the shell, which I found, and then we've got the little tiny lump of amber, which is very cool.
I love amber jewelry, and it's crazy because I really love the honey amber. That's the stuff we're all familiar with. It looks like, you know, honey. And then there's some green amber from Eastern Europe, which is really trippy, but it's really beautiful jewelry, especially set in sterling silver, you know?
It is, and I only ever wear silver. I can't wear gold. It doesn't. Yeah. I'm way too pale to wear gold. It does nothing for me. Mag says, any correlation with birthstones and who you are as a person? I guess something to do with astrological signs.
We should do a show on that. And again, I'm not trying to sell you on astrology. I'm merely telling you what the lore, you know, and a lot of what I am more interested in is the pre-Christian, the pagan stuff. Like, what was it that was, you know, when we were talking about matrilineal cultures, tribal stuff, you know, druidic stones, you know, there's dragonstone that, you know, there's bloodstone, which is Pisces. Currently, the birthstone in modern times for Pisces is an aquamarine. You know, that has some interesting properties. But when you start going back to the more rustic birthstones, I think it's
Yes.
worth looking at. I will say that.
So I think mine is in April is diamond, which is great. But I think going further back, it's things like hematite, which I actually love as well. I've got a hematite bracelet.
I found a huge chunk of that the other day, and I actually got it's one of them. I'd say it's a rock identifier where it uses AI to find the rock, and I wanted to stay away from this, but I got it because I think it's got an 85% hit ratio so far, and I found a beautiful bloodstone, and I've also found some really crazy looking jaspers as well. So yeah.
That is pretty cool. And Sokadorf says, funny part is some people have way too much personality in common with astrology, but your prediction has more gravitational pull than Jupiter. Prediction.
It's true. But I mean, it is crazy. And there are people who are signs that I do not get along with. Like, I do not. And I didn't get along with romantically at all. We'll just say that. Yeah. Yeah, Pisces. Yeah, look up Pisces, man. It's funny because we all read these, we all read our astrological sign. We're like, oh yeah, all that good stuff is totally me. But that negative stuff, I'm not like that at all. So of course I feel that way about, the Pisces man thing and whatever it is. But it is interesting though to see who theoretically you're supposed to be compatible with, and then who ends up as your friends. Not just in romantic relationships.
It is fascinating to find out who you're drawn to. Absolutely. I do think there is something to it. Mags likes that idea. She says, Salty Purple, that would be cool. She's August, which is Peridot, Leo, and Dragon. Would be interested if you did examples for the show. We can certainly do that.
I would love to do that. Yeah. I mean, and I'm, you know how I am. I'm already like, oh, I'm just going to pull that up and we'll do it now. No, we'll do it on a show.
We'll do it on a
show. We can look at modern equivalencies and then look back at, because other cultures, even other cultures outside of Western civilization and Western cultures have different stones for the signs on the zodiac. The zodiac is an important, that's a whole other show. It's not just astronomy. It has to do with translation and metaphor for things, It
is. We've got a great look. What I'll do is I'll take note of what you guys have, and it'd be fun to kind of look it up. But Gunbenny says she's July, Leo, and a metal monkey. So that brings in the Chinese zodiac as well.
Yeah.
And Mercurial is Scorpio.
See, that's wild. See, I'm a Pisces and I'm a dog. And you read the Chinese zodiac because, who doesn't go to a Chinese restaurant and look at the paper thing underneath the plate, right? And it's like, my brother's a monkey. I'm a dog. My sister's my other brother's a rat. My sister's a dragon, which is also her astrological sign in the Chinese zodiac. And
Nice.
We do need to do this.
That idea. We'll have to work this out. We'll either do it as another one of these chill streams, or we'll do it as a woo show. But we'll talk about it behind the scenes. But I think we've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes, so I might start to wind down if that's okay. You guys are amazing. We've got another wrap from Nerdporial. Stunning, a brave Megton is a Virgo and a Tiger. That's a great combination.
See, I love these things because we could actually run it through and talk about the different signs. And again, it's not just the modern stuff. It's these stones and the traits that were written down going back into old tomes from like the 12th, 13th, 14th century. This stuff was really important once we got out of the dark ages, and it makes you wonder, where did they get this knowledge? The
idea that all different cultures, and again we've talked about the all cultures have this great flood in their history. All cultures seem to have this zodiac sign. Everybody looked to the stars and assigned attributes depending on when you were born.
Yeah, I'm going to try a technique here that I've never done before.
Nice.
I just did a light wet brushing of paint over the top, but I really wanted to try to
that's
put
pretty.
Me and glitter are dangerous, I'm going to get this everywhere except where I probably want it to be, but I wanted to kind of give the octopus a little bit of a sparkle. You know what I mean?
So if I full screen that so we can have a look at it?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
There we go.
Yeah,
look at
I
him.
just sprinkled it on there. So then you got this, you can kind of see how
He's
kind of
glistening.
has the shimmer, and as opposed to the other one where you didn't have that. But I just wanted to get this kind of a sparkly thing going on because he's a creepy ass looking octopus thing.
He is. I like his eyes. I think he's got a great look to him.
Well, on the box, and again, this is the kit, and I'm not trying to make you go to Walmart, but you could have a hell of a lot of fun with this kit right here. It's a cool kit. You know, it's not at all painted, so be prepared for that. And as you can see, I've painted the bottom part the way I want to, and the octopus they have. I was gonna make it purple, but I was like, nah, I want to have an orange octopus. But you can get a couple sets of these. There's another one that I have too, where there's a skeleton fighting a pirate dude. But it's just fun to do stuff like this, and there's like no wrong way to do it, you know. I mean, I'm going to put this behind me on my live stream thing. You're not going to notice if maybe I missed a spot here or there, but you know, I'm putting love and attention into this, and it's just, I don't know, it's just fun. It's fun to make something.
It's like you were saying, you know, you're going to weather the boards and kind of put seaweed on there. You can put like a little rock or shells, and you can take what they've given you and then add to it to really personalize it. Pod Racing says, is it edible?
The glitter, edible glitter. I you're more than welcome. I'll send you some. Let me know how that goes. But no, it's and you don't have to spend a lot of money on this. You know, that's usually the prohibitive thing when you start a new thing, right? Is, oh well, you have to buy all this. You know, I got $300 there, you know, all this other stuff. Like, no, you really don't. You know, I picked up a lot of these bits and pieces from everywhere because I wasn't sure if I was going to be into this, and you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money to do stuff. You just don't. But yeah.
I think I would love to continue this on another chill stream if you're up for it, but I will show you guys what we've got so far. So if you can see, so we got the amber, which is that one, and we've also got the little seashell, which is that one there. So fingers crossed the rest are kind of lurking in these squares that I haven't uncovered yet, but this is a great kit, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Turn that around so you can see, gives you an idea of what it is, and this is a lot of fun. I've never done one of these before.
Yeah, who doesn't want to dig for cool dinosaur stuff? I mean, really.
Exactly.
What do you guys think? Do you like my sparkly orange octopus? You know, but
I think he looks fantastic. He looks wet now, you know what I mean? Like he's
that's what I was going for.
Finds out of the ocean.
This slimy ass thing coming to eat you, you know. So yeah.
Glitter gets everywhere. It's
yeah. This is why I can never be a drag queen. But, they'll never ask me to go to the Star Wars experience in Europe. Yeah.
Zach says moist.
Yeah, it's very moist. Yeah, there we go. I got the moist octopus look.
You guys
didn't mean to turn you on over there in Japan, Gray. That's what I'm saying.
You guys are amazing. Oh my gosh. Something, is there anything you want to talk about or let people know before we let them get on with the rest of their evening? This has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys.
No, I'm thinking about doing a woo-woo show or maybe a build stream this weekend. I haven't live streamed on my channel for a long time. And I've got a lot of requests to do it. And the reason why is I cannot talk about how bad things are anymore. They're bad. You know what I mean? I'll make videos about them on a case-by-case basis, but I need to, you know, for my own, there's a certain point where it'll be my 2-year anniversary, I think, next week on YouTube. And
congratulations.
There are some things that I want to save up that energy for, like Wheel of Time, like other fantasy adaptations, but I kind of want to talk about do build streams like this, you know, hear from other people, and then save it up for Wheel of Time and things that matter to me. But other than that, I don't have anything planned. Now that I'm covered in glitter and paint, and you know, I look like I'm Justin Trudeau's makeup artist. Look at the blackface.
Just don't rub your face before you go rock hunting.
No,
that could be unfortunate.
No, but I had a hell of a lot of fun here. I started to do some things that I put off with this because I wanted to do them live with you, but I'm really glad I did them with you guys. This is a lot of fun. So thank you.
It is great, and it looks amazing. I love the look of glitter, and people are saying congratulations on the 2-year anniversary that's coming up. Mag says you look fabulous.
Yeah, baby. That's me and my sparkly orange octopus brings all the girls to the yard. You know, check it out. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
It is amazing. So, guys, let me say a huge thank you to Salty for joining. Love getting to see this. It's just fun doing these sort of things, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And you guys in chat, as ever, make this enjoyable. Your questions, your teasing, your craziness, your own takes on things drive this, and it's a lot of fun. And again, I'm humbled and honored that you want to spend time with Purple and I while we do all these crazy things. So thank you.
Absolutely. A huge thank you to Nathan as well. I know he had to go and deal with the real life, but it was great to see him and to see him painting his first miniature. That was awesome. Huge thank you to you guys in the chat. Let me say hello to Andy Masterson. Great to see you. We've got Whitechapel in there as well. Awesome to see you as always. What's going on next week? Hopefully we'll have a woo-woo show. Like I said yesterday, things are changing slightly, but we'll be able to accommodate and keep with the schedule because I love doing these woo-woo shows.
Yeah, we'll do one way or another. And like I said, I think I'll probably do one this Saturday again, just because there's so much to talk about that's happening right now.
Did you see the comet, by the way?
Oh yeah, I hung out with OBG70 last night. It was good. It was good.
I need to watch that stream.
Yeah, there's a couple good images, and then the telescope software kind of crapped out, but it was fun. It was cool to look at, and they did a long, like a 5-minute exposure where you got to see the halo, and then you also got to see the debris coming off of it, and we learned about why the comet was green and other things like that. So it was just kind of chill, you know. It's nerds with a telescope, you know. It's nice.
What more could you ask for?
It's true. No, a profound lack of trans representation in talking about eating bugs, but you know, it was fun anyway. Right? Oh.
You guys are fantastic. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Leia.
Thank you. Huge thank you to everybody who said member chats, who said super chats. You guys are amazing. Thank you to Noporial for the gifted memberships as well. TZ says, like the Woo Woo Wednesday. Me too. It just kind of rolls off the tongue, but Salty does it better.
Wild, weird, wonderful werewolf Woo Woo Wednesday.
There you go. So, guys, have a fantastic rest of your night. We hope to see you again very, very soon. Keep an eye out because, as you said, there is a lot more content coming, and I think we need to do more of these chill streams because this was fun. So, I will leave you guys with the outro. Have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful night, and take care of yourselves.
See you later.